Welcome to the TK Inspirations channel. I am Tonya Kinlow, TK, and this channel is all about living the life that you want to live, about an inspirational way of living through 7 intentions and many practices to take you from the life that you have to the life that you want. What do all of us want? Happiness, contentment, inner peace. The only reason we go after anything is because we think we'll be happier in having it. This channel and this methodology that we talk about with TK Inspirations is 7 intentions that will elevate you and lift you above your circumstances to get rid of the pettiness and the noise and just the chatter that goes on in our everyday lives to lift us to a place where we can overcome any circumstances in our lives. We teach and talk about 7 intentions, each of them powerful in their own might. But when they're put together, it really lifts you exponentially. So the 7 intentions are meditation, exercise, mindful eating, self-care, daily affirmations and journaling, kindness and gratitude, and sleep and silence. Again, any of those one-on-one by themselves is uplifting, reduces stress, keeps the biochemical functioning in your body level and in check, keeps you positive, compassionate in a space of giving and receiving. But when they're all put together, you really elevate and expand your spiritual growth in a way that you may not have experienced before. I always say the life you have is getting in the way of the life you want. The first premise is it is a mindset shift. If you want to change your life, you have to make changes. The problem that most people make is that they want everyone else around them to change to make them happy. And imagine it's just so much going on in the world today, politics, divisiveness, job, high employment, but it seems like it can be difficult to get the job you want, family difficulty, chronic diseases are at an all-time high. So how can we live a life of remarkable wellness, holistic, spiritual, physical, mental, all of it, so that we uplift and live a life of happiness, contentment, and wellness, living out your personal purpose. So first we talk about a mindset shift. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to make changes to get the life that you want. A willingness to give yourself permission to be different, to follow your internal guidance. Ask yourself, what is the life, that true expression that God would have for me? And are you living it? And then we talk about and teach and do these intentions and practices so that you can start doing those things. You can start to become the person that you were always meant to be. It's in your DNA. It's already encoded. So the first thing is to think about life in terms of health and wellness, pure well-being. It's a spiritual journey. It really starts from the inside. We talk about the things, we try to acquire things and money and material positions to get us to a place of happiness, when really the reverse is the quickest equation to getting you to happiness. Get to happiness, see what it is you desire, and act in that way, putting out positive energy, aligning yourself with uplifting people and being and uplifting, giving and receiving in a positive light. And that's a game changer. But you have to change your mindset, because so many of us are stuck in this reality where we're just angry. They did it to me. That's unfair. I often told my kids when they were growing up, and they said, well, that's not fair. And I said, who told you life was fair? In an ideal world, or, this picture state, it's fair. Life is, and God is in everything and within us. So we have to accept it for all of its good and its bad. People will die. You will die. I will die. As sure as we're born, we will die. So there's just some things we have to accept. And when we accept and embrace them, it lets go of the fear, and it allows us to live a more calm and serene life. It's like being mad that it's raining, or being mad that the sun is going to come out tomorrow. That defeats any logic. It would be easier and more beneficial to accept what is. The sun is going to come out tomorrow, and we're going to have rain to feed the plants that feed us and animals. So the acceptance of the way that things is a huge leap towards getting towards our own happiness and self-contentment. These 7 intentions, when you practice them, they allow you to come to a place of stillness and peace, where you can then overcome any circumstances that come before you. It's about going within and not without, not looking for the world to make you happy, but looking to make yourself happy from within. And then you can be a beacon and radiate your light to the rest of the world. Then you're a disciple. You're practicing, radiating, putting out the positive energy, receiving it back, and becoming part of that engine. You start to manifest the things that you want, because things will flow to you. We'll talk about your thoughts are energy. What you think about, you produce. When you're complaining or being a victim, someone did this to me, I deserve that job, he doesn't love me anymore, you're making yourself sick. And these feelings, this hard living, it helps cause these chronic diseases. It causes cancer. It causes diabetes, because you do other things outside of yourself to try to calm that feeling. And so it's a system. When you start to make better choices, instead of drinking it away or smoking it away, when you start to make choices that are, I can exercise it away, I can practice compassion, I can practice forgiveness. Those are the things that then bring that same light and love back to you. So it's a mindset shift. You have to give yourself permission. You have to be willing to give yourself permission to make the changes in your life that you want to make, that will get you to where you want to go. It's not that you want the new car or the new house or the new job. Those would be nice things, but that's not the end all. As soon as you get those, you want something more. What you really want, we're going to skip that level and go higher to the next level, which is just be happy. If you could be happy in a small house versus being miserable in a big house, the point is to be happy. What does it matter if you're in a big house and you're miserable? There's no one there to clean it. No one comes to visit you. You're watching your money every month, versus living a contented life. That is the goal. And amazingly is when you begin to live in that way, then all of those other things come. So we're reversing the equation. We're also going to go beyond our 5 senses. We're not just talking about what I hear, see, smell, feel, taste. That's what we've been doing our whole lives. Centuries ago, and in the East, thousands and thousands of years ago, the foundation of our existence was our intuition, our spirituality, our relationship with the earth and God and nature. And we've gotten away from it. We're all into concrete and who said what and the government and rules and legislation. And we're anxiety ridden. You know, we're trying to multitask. We're trying to, we're just so competitive, you know, versus it's okay to want better for your life. That's what this is all about. It's another thing to beat someone else down to get what you want. That doesn't work in the long term. It works in the short term. We see other people doing it and say, oh, that's not fair. Again, it's not about what other people are doing. When you're in your purpose and you're doing it with love and compassion and your thoughts are positive and you're uplifting to other people, you will get yours quickly. But we have to break the cycle of being overcommitted so other people won't think we're a bad mom, or if we don't take them to music, ballet, basketball, baseball, and travel all around the country, you know, or we got to get them into an Ivy League school, you know, all these metrics that are of the world versus focusing on the metrics of love, compassion, gratitude, kindness. Those things will get you further. So we'll be using our other senses, not the five senses. We'll be using our sixth sense or multi senses. We'll be using our intuition. We'll see how the universe works, how synchronicity, there are no coincidences. I mean, in the literal definition, yes, things happen that coincide, but they're not random. They're all in perfect order. And when you start to understand that that order is a message to you and a way for you to order your steps and walk in that light, it leads you to your purpose, to your destination much faster than, what is that term, than going against the grain or bucking against the goad. You know, we just muscle it, try so hard. And there's the law of least effort, you know, the law of least resistance. When you're in your purpose, you're in a flow and everything goes well. And you start to glow and opportunities come to you, relationships work out, you find that love you've been looking for. And that's what we all want. And we want that, and it's meant for us. And so here we're going to talk about the intentions, the 7 intentions, applying them to our everyday lives. You can't just know them. You can't just know them intellectually. These are things you do. You have to work on your attitudinal muscles and increase your awareness of what happens. What are the signs? What is that synchronicity? You know, when you're thinking about someone, they're thinking about you. That's why when you're thinking about someone, you're about to call them and they call you. Or you bump into someone at a random place that you were just thinking about. Those aren't random. I mean, that's the order of the universe. It's the law of attraction. It's the energy that you're putting out. Your thoughts are units of energy. And so we're going to combine all of these concepts in conversations, in how-tos, meditation. Huge. When you can get still and put all that clutter of the outside world out, you have more space to hear what your intuition, what your divine God within you is communicating. So one of the first things I just want to say here is the first practice is to not pray to a God out there in the sky, up in the clouds. Pray to the God that's within you. God is in all of us, in everything. The Alpha and Omega, God is. So that spirit, that light is within you. So that's the first shift. We're always, well, is that the right decision? Is that not the right decision? I don't know what to do. And that's because we're not still enough to decipher our own messaging that the God within us is trying to say, because we're listening to everyone out there. No. So the first thing is the mindset shift about health, wellness, happiness, joy, contentment, inner peace. Everything we're going to do and talk about is about finding that. It's already within us. So how do we let it out? How do we give ourselves permission to say no to things that don't serve us? To say no to people that want to put us in a box. After this, you won't be able to be put in a box. There's infinite potential and possibilities that is available to you. You only need to go to it, to take it, to grab it. It's within you. Don't let other people put you down. It's easier said than done. And that's why practicing these 7 intentions will build you up. It's holistic. It's spiritual, mental, physical. Your body is an extension of your spiritual practice. When you're uplifted and high and feeling wonderful, your body, you'll make choices that will also make your body. We want to say we want to exercise to lose weight, but then we're still miserable. We're not getting to the root cause. And it just all works so wonderfully. It becomes, your life becomes like a velvet blanket. You know, I like to use the word, it has a deliciousness to it. You'll have a glow. Things will come to you that don't seem possible. You'll have things that your money couldn't buy, like it'll be gifted to you or fall out of the sky, inheritance, or just it's really mystical. And that's the way that the universe actually works. It's energetic. The energy you put out is what you get back. So you find yourself complaining, if you find yourself using a lot of negative words, if you find yourself not forgiving people, holding grudges, gossiping, and you also find yourself unhappy, that's the connection. We lose the baggage. We lose that. We practice these intentions where we're practicing kindness, gratitude, forgiveness. We're putting ourselves first, doing self-care. You know, I've had people say self-care, well, that's hard. I'm so busy. You know, I'm busy at work for my boss. I'm busy, you know, with the kids, and they put themselves last and wonder why they're overwhelmed. You put yourself first, and that love that you give to your kids, the attention that you give to your boss, the understanding, the miscommunications fall away. Things that would take 2 hours to do because your mind is so busy, or 8 hours trying to race through 500 things, they'll come to you in 10, 20 minutes because you'll be in tune with your divine guidance. So these 7 intentions, this methodology that we talk about with TK Inspirations, is what we focus on, and they cover all of life. And we'll talk about why and how and practical everyday problems. Bad things, what we call bad things, happen in life, but they're not bad. There is no really, in the truest sense, bad or good. They can be hurtful and cause pain for a while. When someone passes, when we lose a job, when we get divorced, I've had all those things happen. You will not escape life. Generally, if you live long enough, those things are going to happen. But you can overcome those with the understanding that as sure as you're born, you will die. You don't know how, you don't know when. So the point is to make your life as enjoyable as possible. And if you look for a reason in everything without having the spiritual maturity or the understanding of how the universe works, you're going to make yourself more miserable. So there's a bit of trust, allowing, but first you just start with the giving and start with yourself and giving to yourself. And then these things will grow as we talk about this methodology for manifesting your best life. Just happiness, peace, and contentment. And there will be a glow about you. You will be in the flow. And by you participating in your own unfolding in happiness, you radiate that to others and you help uplift them. And then together we uplift the whole world. So, I mean, this is more impactful than voting. than your annual evaluation at work. I mean, they're all of those things matter. The point is not to put aside or dismiss this life, this earthly, existence that we have. Is to align your higher spiritual self with your physical bodily self. We often just get so bogged down in the day-to-day and the worldly things, we forget that the infinite potential that we have, the God, the all-powerful, omniscient power that is within us, we ignore it. This will pull it out, and you will be amazed. It's going to be so fantastic. So I thank you for staying with me this long. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I am going to be talking all year, every week, maybe every day. 2020 is a magical year for transformation. This is your year. This is my year. This is it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to taking this lifetime journey and beginning this path to enlightenment and ascending higher and higher. And I look forward. Please comment. We'll talk about things you want to talk about, and stay informed. Okay? Love and light, and God bless.